and welcome back to Mancinima. Today we're going to be taking a look back at the films of 2023. And we start with horror movies because horror led the way at the beginning of the year. It started off with Megan, or M3 if you prefer, followed by Scream 6. Then we had Ty West's prequel to X, which was Pearl. And then after that we had Evil Dead Rise in April. In fact, it was a fairly horror-packed year. So we had The Nun 2, The Exorcist Believer, Thanksgiving, Talk to Me, and Saw X, among the titles that were released at the cinema in this year. And to be fair, it seemed that horror fared fairly well at the cinema, which is something I can't say about the superhero movies. Superhero movies didn't do so well at the cinema this year. Initially we had Shazam! Fury of the Gods from DC, which was an average okay film, but it didn't do very well at the box office. But it didn't fare half as bad as the Marvel releases this year, which was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and of course The Marvels. Both of those movies have been reportedly bombed at the box office in 2023. In fact, Marvel isn't the only Disney property not to do so well at the box office this year. Their 60-second animated feature Wish has reportedly not made the box office numbers that it was predicted. And also we had the failure of the latest Indiana Jones, or the final Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which reported major box office disappointments. Actually, what did fare well at the box office this year was Margot Robbie starring as a popular kids' doll, Barbie. Now, she starred in that movie alongside Ryan Gosling as Ken, and personally, I actually don't know why that film performed so well at the box office. I saw the movie and I thought it was okay, but I thought it was aimed at an adult audience rather than a children's audience. And, you know, the trailer portrayed it as being something of a comedy, and there wasn't really much comedy in the film. I was kind of disappointed in it, to be perfectly honest with you. But anyway, I'm sure part of the popularity was raised because it went up against Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, which opened on the same day. Now, Margot Robbie said that she wasn't going to budge her dates, so Oppenheimer and Barbie opened on the same day. People went to see the movie, they went to see Barbie first, and then Oppenheimer, and they termed it on the internet as Barbenheimer. On a more positive note, a number of movies returned to the cinema this year to celebrate special anniversaries. From 1983, celebrating their 40th anniversary, we had Return of the Jedi. We also had Brian De Palma's Scarface, and we also had John Carpenter's Christine, which was based, of course, on the Stephen King story. Celebrating their 35th anniversary, we had Die Hard, of course, the Bruce Willis classic. Is it a Christmas movie? Is it not a Christmas movie? You decide. And also we had Beetlejuice. Of course, we got the sequel to Beetlejuice coming out next year, Beetlejuice 2. There's been no set date for that just yet. But the big one for me, celebrating its 30th anniversary, was Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. One of my favourite movies of all time. What surprised me is that also released in 1993 was Steven Spielberg's Schindler's List. Now, there's been no anniversary re-releases for that, and I wonder why. For now, let's take a break and look back at some of the most disappointing films of the year in my top 5 turkeys of 2023. At 5, The Marvels. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel teams up with Teyonah Parris's Monica Rambeau and Iman Vellani's Miss Marvel to take on the weakest Marvel villain yet, Zor Ashton's Dar-Ben, in this misjudged, badly plotted superhero caper. At 4, Wish, a wishy-washy 60-second animated feature from Disney, oversaturated with forgettable songs, a weak story, and not the best film to represent Disney's centennial celebrations. At 3, Exorcist Believer. Not content with hacking away at the Halloween franchise, David Gordon Green has set his sights now on The Exorcist, again stating that this is a direct sequel to the original. Well, it's not on a par with that. It's got a terrible plot, some bizarre choices, and please keep this man away from horror. At 2, What's Love Got to Do with It? I prefer to call it What's Plot Got to Do with It? A painful, drawn-out love story whose only saving grace is Lily James. And at number 1, Talk to Me, another A24 dud. A decent concept is ruined by unlikable characters, hackneyed direction, and a slow plodding plot that you just wish would go somewhere. Some bizarre choices and an ending you could see coming a mile off. This was a disappointment. You'll notice that one of the films that didn't make my disappointments of 2023 was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I just found it was a bit cruel to put it in there. You know, Harrison's 81, 82 years old now, and the film wasn't too bad. It's just that it was disappointing when compared to the other Indiana Jones movies. When you watch it on its own, it's a fairly solid film. It just didn't measure up, and you know, I just felt it was a bit cruel to put it in there. Anyway, it also may not have made my top 10 favourite films of the year, of which we're going to take a look right now. At 10, The Fabelmans. Steven Spielberg's almost self-biographical picture about a young man growing up and his love for movies helping him overcome family issues at home. At 9, Napoleon. Ridley Scott's epic, charting the rise and fall of the French Emperor. Joaquin Phoenix stars as the title character Napoleon Bonaparte. At 8, Wonka, a charming, delightful prequel to the 1971 classic. Timothée Chalamet stars as the chocolatier. At 7, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, sequel to 2018's Into the Spider-Verse. Miles Morales is catapulted back to the Spider-Verse with its many variations of Spider-Man as he learns what it means to be a hero. At 6, Pearl, Ty West prequel to 2022's X, a captivating performance from Mia Goth. Look out for Mancinima, the third part of this horror trilogy, opening in 2024. At 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. James Gunn's last run with Marvel before he jumped ship to join DC saw a look back at the tortured history of Rocket Raccoon, a heartfelt closer to the Guardians trilogy. At 4, Evil Dead Rise, fourth official entry in the Evil Dead saga if you ignore the remake, sees the action move from a cabin in the woods to an LA apartment complex as Elizabeth Sutherland stars as a mother possessed. At 3, John Wick 4, Keanu Reeves once more stars as the titular character in a series that just goes from strength to strength. Beautiful cinematography and beautiful fight choreography in this action-packed entry. But could this be the end? At 2, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, a much delayed entry in the Mission Impossible saga, and as with previous entries, the stunts just get wilder and wilder. A fantastic cast to support Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt takes on a rogue AI in this tense, funny, action-packed thriller. And at number 1 we have Scream 6. Moving the core forward to New York was a touch of genius, giving Scream a freshness that it needed to move it into the future. A fantastic, unpredictable opening, tense scenes set against the New York backdrop with a cast that we have now grown to love. It's just a shame that Spyglass had to go and mess up Scream 7, isn't it? And that wraps up our look back at the films of 2023. So what's to come for 2024? Well, that's another whole video coming up very, very soon. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed this video, please click on the thumbs up. We do greatly appreciate it. It really helps the channel out. Don't be one of the strange thumb bandits, you know, the ones that click on it that way up because they can't tell up from down. If you're brand new to the channel, thank you for looking at this video. Please subscribe. It's all free. Same with the thumbs up. And hit the notification bell and I'll let you know when I've done another one of these videos. In the meantime, I hope you're all keeping well. I will see you all in 2024. Take care.